Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really powerful, emotionally charged Pashtun fable that is absolutely going to flip how you look at your own comfort zone. I'm super excited to share this one with you because it perfectly captures this wild idea. What if the very things keeping us safe are actually the exact things holding us back from our true potential? All right, let's just jump right into it. Imagine hearing a father give that dark, shocking command to his son, and get this. He's not talking about some sworn enemy. He's talking about an incredibly generous host who literally just sheltered them for the night. Sounds completely crazy and cruel, right? Well, let's figure out exactly why this happened, and more importantly, dig into the massive, life-altering lesson it has for us today. So, starting off with Section 1, A Comfortable, Simple Life. Our story drops us into the insanely rugged mountains of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. We're talking peaks that literally touch the clouds, right? And here we meet a simple farmer named Sherbaz Khan. The guy lived a really modest life. He had this small mud house, a little guest room they call a hudra, and one single buffalo. That buffalo was his entire livelihood. He survived purely by selling its milk. And you know what? Sherbaz Khan was totally fine with it. His days were quiet, his nights were peaceful, and he was perfectly content in his tight little economic bubble. It was enough for him. Or, at least he thought it was.
Which brings us to Section 2, the father's strange command.
So, one evening, two travelers show up at Sherbaz's door looking for a place to crash. It's a perceptive, sharp-eyed father and his young, super curious son. Now, in true Pashtun hospitality, where a guest is literally treated like a gift from God, Sherbaz welcomes them with open arms. He feeds them his best food, gives them a warm place to sleep. But as the evening goes on, the father is looking around. He sees all this vast, completely untouched farmland surrounding the house. Rich soil that could easily feed a whole village. When he realizes Sherbaz actually owns all this land, he asks him point blank, "Why is your home so simple when you own such rich land?" Sherbaz just kind of shrugs. He's like, "I have my buffalo, I sell the milk, it's enough." But the father, he doesn't say a word. He just gets this look in his eye. He sees the real problem here. Later that night, seeing something the host was completely blind to, the father turns to his son and gives him that horrifying order. Take the host's only buffalo and push it off a cliff. The son is just horrified, like, no way, this guy just gave us food and a bed. But the father looks right at him and says, "Trust me, you will understand. Not now, but one day. Just do as I say." And, unable to disobey his dad, the son just stays quiet. So before the sun even comes up, while the whole village is dead asleep, they actually go through with it. They wake up in the pitch dark, untether this gentle, clueless buffalo, and walk it up to the ridge. With a totally heavy heart, the son helps his dad push the poor animal off the edge into the darkness. And then they just book it. They flee before sunrise, not even looking back, leaving poor Sherbaz Khan with absolutely nothing. His one and only source of income just wiped out in an instant. Moving on to Section 3, A Journey of Guilt. As you can imagine, the son is just paralyzed by this. From day one, that silent, early morning betrayal just eats at him. He's thinking, how could his dad, who taught him everything about honor and hospitality, do something so unbelievably cruel? Year one passes, then another, and the kid is just hauling around this massive weight of guilt. He can't stop thinking about the buffalo or the kind man they absolutely ruined. Finally, after 5 long years, he can't take it anymore. He actually makes the grueling trek back across those same mountains, completely desperate to confess his terrible sin to the man he is certain is now starving to death. And that leads us to Section 4, The Gift of Necessity. Because when the guilt-ridden son finally gets to the old spot, he just stops dead in his tracks. He's in absolute disbelief. The sad little mud house, the barren land, totally gone. Standing right there is this massive, grand bungalow with a beautiful courtyard. The empty dirt fields are now overflowing with golden wheat and lush crops. And when he knocks on the door, who answers? A finely dressed, clearly wealthy Sherbaz Khan, who just looks at him with this knowing smile. Yeah, Sherbaz knows exactly who this young man is. The son practically begs for forgiveness. He tells him he never understood why his dad did it. But Sherbaz just calmly sits him down and tells him the story. When he lost that buffalo, he was devastated. He had zero income, no way to feed his family. So he was forced to do something he'd never really done. He had to get to work. He gathered his brothers, and for the very first time, they actually looked at the incredible soil right under their boots. They started plowing, they dug wells. It was brutal at first, The first year was tough, the second was even worse, but they survived. Eventually, the rains came, and they reaped this massive, abundant harvest. He realized the land had always been his treasure. He'd just been way too comfortable to notice. And then, Shahbaz drops this incredible line on the kid. He says, "Your father did not destroy my life. He saved it. He freed me from my own laziness." Wow. A tear literally rolls down the son's cheek as it finally clicks. His dad wasn't being cruel at all. He saw a guy with insane potential settling for a tiny, microscopic life. The father didn't give him a handout. He gave him a wake-up call. He gave him the gift of necessity. Now, let's bring it all home in Section 5, Killing Your Own Buffalo. See this beautiful story? It isn't just about some farmer in the mountains. It's a mirror for us. We all have a buffalo. Your buffalo is that cozy little comfort zone that keeps you perfectly content with less. It's a tiny, easy source of security that totally blinds you to the vast, rich farmland of opportunities all around you. Shahbaz was happy surviving on pennies because it was easy. And honestly, we do the exact same thing. We settle for the buffalo when the land could give us the whole world. So let's get real for a second. What does a modern-day buffalo actually look like? Well, it could be that job you absolutely despise, but you won't leave because, hey, it pays the bills, right? It could be a toxic relationship that's dragging you down, but you stay because being alone is scary and this feels familiar. Or it could just be that go-to excuse you use every single time you need to avoid taking a risk. These are the invisible chains that keep our true potential completely dormant. If you truly want to grow, you've got to channel that perceptive father from the story. You have to kill your buffalo. Okay, not literally, please, but metaphorically. You have to break the chains of your own status quo. Sometimes, the greatest kindness you can show yourself is actually forcing yourself into a corner where you have to step up. Not every blessing comes wrapped in a nice little bow. Sometimes they show up disguised as loss or hardship. You've got to embrace the challenge of growth, and sometimes that literally means pushing your false sense of security off a cliff so you can finally start digging your own wells. So, as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with one final, deeply personal question to chew on. Take a hard look at your life. Look at the areas where you feel stagnant, but safe. Identify it. Face the discomfort of letting it go, because maybe, just maybe, it is time to say goodbye to it so you can reap your own abundant harvest. So, I'll ask you, what is your buffalo?